I want like 2007 YouTube to come back with talk through tutorials, story times. I want Bath and Body Works candle hauls back. We unboxed the Casper and Hot Stuff collaboration with PROFUSION. Now this was released back in October during Halloween time. I really wanted to try something with yellow today. It's been a long time since I played with any yellow shadow. I'm gonna go into this deep berry toned color called Turn Up the Heat. I just folded a piece of paper and I am just going to pat this right into my outer corner. I did forget to mention I primed my eyes using the Profusion pigment base. Well, as evenly as possible on both sides. We're going to do the same thing. I haven't tried the yellows out of this palette yet, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm going to take this neon yellow color called Since 1957. I'm going to start packing this on the lid, and I really don't know how pigmented it's gonna be just yet. I would definitely have to go in a few times to build up this color, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take a little bit of the setting spray and spritz my brush. I actually did not like that pigment wet. It almost made it worse. I'm just going back in with some dry pigment and I'm just going to pack it on and build it up until I'm happy with it. I'm going to bring it up a little bit into the crease so it's not just on the lid. Some colors are really a hit or a miss in this palette. Like that first berry shadow we used, beautiful. The yellow, not so much. I'm going to pick up this pinky salmon color called Hot Cutie Alert. I'm going to try blending that right between the yellow and the red. I'm not really worrying about messing up the line too much because I'm going to clean it up with concealer anyway. But I'm just going back and forth between the salmon and kind of maroon shade. That yellow shade really isn't doing too well, so I think I'm going to go over it a little bit with some shimmer and try to save it. On a big fluffy brush, I'm going in with that same yellow and just blending out the crease a little bit. I'm not bringing it up all the way to my eyebrow, I just want to blend out that edge. Next, I'm going to take this shimmery shade called I Like It Hot. Oh, it's a different formula. It's definitely a softer pigment. I'm going to just place this right in the center of my lid over the yellow. Not really dragging the shimmer up into my crease. I really want to just focus it on my lid. Honestly, I feel like it just helps blend everything together too. So if you're having a hard time blending your eyeshadow, maybe just add glitter. I'm going to take a little bit of micellar water. I'm going to use this to help me clean up the edge of my eyeshadow again. And that's why I said really not to worry about being too messy because you can clean all of that up. I'm going to use a little bit of this nude shade just to highlight my brow bone because with the pigment underneath, it's just very, very white. So I just want to neutralize it a little bit. Even here a little bit on my inner corner up to my brow. I'm going to use an Almay black liner to tight line. If I had a brown, honestly, that's what I would be using instead of the black, but that's what we're going to use for now. I'm going to curl my lashes. This came from the dollar store. I'm going to try a new mascara today. This is the Milani highly rated anti-gravity mascara. No reason in particular. I just was in the market for a new mascara. I was running low and I've been using L'Oreal Telescopic since high school. Again, from the dollar store actually. These are the Ioni 3D False Mink Lashes. Grabbed a whole bunch of them. Considering they were from the dollar store, grabbing a bunch of them is like the equivalent to one pack at the drugstore. I'm going to use the green Duo Lash Glue. I'm going to give them a little bit of a trim, and when you're trimming lashes, you want to trim from the outer corner. Let me pop these on, and I will be right back. I'm going to throw on a tiny bit of mascara to the false lashes as well. Another new product I'm going to try out today is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Primer. It says spatula included. I'm peeling off this little tape and then, oh cute. Oh, that's adorable. That's really cute. I like that. Let us see. This kind of reminds me of like Tatcha packaging. Oh, my hands are so moisturized that I can't. Okay, whoa. Definitely looks like a dupe of something. I'm going to use the little spatula that comes with it. I don't know how much we're going to have to use, so I'm going to start with a tiny little bit. I didn't even dip into this yet. I just used what was on the cover. Oh, interesting. It starts almost like a balm and then starts melting into your fingertips. Interesting. I'm going to take a tiny bit more, just kind of for the forehead area. I mean, it feels really, really nice and kind of cooling. It's very, very cold. There's no like tackiness. I usually use the e.l.f. Super Grip Primer, so I'm very used to that like stick. It really doesn't feel like there's much on my face. It's pretty comfortable. I picked up a new e.l.f. Halo Glow Wand. This one is a little bit more on the cool side. I had one and it was just far too brown. I tried using it for kind of like bronzing and it just wasn't working out. I wasn't a fan. So this one is a little bit lighter. It's like light to medium skin tones. Again, a little bit more gray than the other one. So we're going to give this one a try. Oh, wow. Wow, that is really gray. The gray is more for shadow, however. I might be... I don't know how I feel about that one yet. I'm gonna try blending. You know what? I kind of have mixed opinions at the moment because for a second I was like, damn, that just disappeared. That's not a good thing. But then I'm like, well, wait a second. It kind of is a good thing because I actually still see it. So the gray is more for sculpting per se. And then like obviously a brown is more for bronzing and adding kind of like that sun-kissed glow. This is more like chiseling. You know what? I was really going to hate on it for a second, but it's actually blending into my skin to the point of where it does really look kind of like a natural contour and not so that like I just have brown smeared on my face. I'm not going to bother doing the forehead considering we're still doing a wig. Kind of in between foundations at the moment. There's a lot of like mixing. I'm making potions with foundations right now. The one thing I can tell you for sure is I've been adding the Lumi Glow Lotion from L'Oreal. So I just put, whoops. I put some on the back of my hand of that. And then I take the Simply Ageless foundation from CoverGirl. And because that one is too dark for me, but I'm out of the lighter one, I also take a little bit of the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. Oh, sugar. Oh, not really so much for coverage, but more just to get a better match. I'm trying to match the rest of my body, so I think I get a pretty decent match. I first apply it with a stippling brush, and then I'm just going in with a beauty blender to blend this all out. I'm going to go in with my favorite liquid blush right now, which is Bellini from PROFUSION, and I'm going to apply that before my concealer. Take a peek at your face shape and look at the blush placement for it. Because my face is so square, I'm going to try to keep my blush closer to my nose. That way I'm not really drawing attention on the outermost part of my face. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, a little bit on the forehead and a little bit on the chin. I've been using a new serum because I don't know if it's just my skin and I'm just getting a little bit dry underneath the eyes, but like over here in particular, I keep running into areas that just seem to have a hard time blending. I don't think I want to add too much more color back to my face, so I'm going to stick with a peach setting powder. Just gonna look up and lightly press this. I'm not like, but I'm just kind of resting my face, but looking up and pressing the powder right into place. I also like taking just a little bit right underneath where I contoured. To finish off the eyes, I'm going back into our original shade. I'm gonna focus this right on that outer corner, connecting it to the top lash line. I'm going to kind of bring it to a point in the inner corner away from the lower lash line. I'm even going to take a little bit of white and put it on my waterline. I'm going back in with my liquid liner and I'm just going to extend the inner corners a little bit. I like pretty neutral lips, so I'm just using e.l.f.'s lip liner in Baddest Beige. I'm going to go over it with Milani's 120 just in the center. And then for a little bit of shine, I'm going to be using Essence Extreme Shine Volume. I also just picked up this all over Buddy Balm, and I think now's the perfect time to try it. They had an unscented and a scented version, so I just thought I could apply this right over like my shoulders, maybe a little bit of my collarbone just to give my skin a really healthy glow. Let me go ahead and set my face. I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter Setting Spray. Now that the makeup is all done, we can move on to the wig. What color did I get? Brown. Okay, hear me out. There was a hot moment where I was going through blonde, but the more I wore blonde, the more I realized I like myself as a brunette. I've also always been attracted to men with dark hair and blue eyes. I don't know, it just tickles my fancy. I have a couple of brown wigs, but there was none that, one was closed, but it had bangs. And I really just wanted a wig that I could kind of wear every day and really loved, and it was a long, okay? So it was really between buying extensions again or buying a wig. And I was on Bellamy, and I'm like, how can I keep justifying spending almost $450 after shipping and handling for extensions that only last 6 months because of how often I was styling it? I'm like, I would rather go and spend $50 on a wig twice a year and still spend a quarter of what I would. Anyway, this is her, Ariana. Ari just joined the chat. I loved the curl pattern of her. It was between this one and I think another one called Roxy or Roxanne or something. I might be going back to Roxanne too. Roxanne kind of came in like an auburn color though, and I already have an auburn wig that I got for Valentine's Day. So I decided to just stick with my brown, which is one that I've been wanting to get for a while anyway. I just remembered I was supposed to film a collaboration video with like a fresh face. Oh, she has baby hairs. I do part my wigs to the side. I just don't care for the middle part. Sue me. Let me go ahead and get her installed the right way. Oh, gonna add a little bit more of this Got To Be. Secure my band, just like so. I'm going to let this completely dry before I come back and start cutting the lace away and all that fun stuff. So I ran out of storage space. So this is a different makeup look. There is a tutorial coming out on it very shortly for St. Patty's Day, but I wanted to show you guys the wig before I get yelled at. I didn't glue it this time. This time it's actually just held in. It's got a couple of clips and I used some bobby pins for some extra support. Thank you so much for watching a tutorial using this palette. If you want me to create more looks, I'd be happy to. The look I have on right now was created using the Aura and Out palette. Do you see this little like tower? It's got about 20 drawers and half of them are full of palettes. I'd like to know what you would like to see for tutorials in the future. Please let me know down below. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and show me by leaving a like. Also, while you're down there, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one.